welcome to True Heel Heat.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero, and if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter for AEWramble episode 193. We did it for the Hangman. Discussing last night's April 9th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 57,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. He is Jimmy Macram. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. At least for the moment. See how it goes.
Oh man, I laugh because of your reaction to the title of today's show.
What are we gonna do? I know what I should do, but I'll give it a few more weeks.
Are you gonna quit on me again? You're gonna try to quit on me again?
I might have to. I can't do this. I like Nick. You don't like Nick more than Matt, baby. He was talking. I was like, oh my God, don't do this to me. I'm not gonna make it.
Come on, it wasn't that bad.
No,
it wasn't that bad.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Could you imagine somebody's supposed to enjoy something and that's your response afterwards? You ready to have sex with your wife and she's crying? You go, come on. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. Come on. It was the best 1 minute of your life. But yes, we are here to discuss AEW Dynamite as only we can Thursdays here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite or anything you want to talk about in the wrestling world. We love to interact with all of you. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and AEWramble specifically, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We got in the chat with us today, we got Davion who says, what's good, y'all? This is only the second time that I have been able to catch AEWramble live. Salute to y'all. Keep up the great work. Appreciate that, Davion. Always love seeing you in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We got Greg Carter who says, what's up, everyone? What's going on, Greg? We got Big Hero Chris in the chat with us today. Good to see you. We also got Big Man Dogs who feels like Jimmy. He says, I'm empty.
Can't even get upset. It's like, I laughed at the Dynasty. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought that was hilarious. Because everybody else was yelling, so I didn't have to yell. It's like, look at these idiots. It's all for this okey doke again. Fucking dummies. Who would have thought? It's like voting for Trump a second time. Oh, that was going to be different this time, huh? Fucking idiots. Good. Then I realized I also had to pay watching Wednesday. I was like, oh, never mind.
Did you watch anything from Dynasty, or you just decided to pass on all of that?
I watched the main event, which was awful. Awful stuff. It was subpar, and then everything happened afterwards was awful. I think that was it. Willow wasn't on the card.
He just wanted to watch the bad. He just wanted to watch. He was like, it wasn't really that bad, and then he watched it. He was like, oh shit.
I only watched the SARS. You know this, and I understood the sentiment. I don't understand this logic at all. Lord.
Yeah. This is like this might be up there. Like, I was pretty high on my score, but like as days pass by, I think my score is getting lower on Dynasty because of how bad the decision making was with that main event.
Listen, in a vacuum, it's bad in general, but outside of a vacuum, you've had. I didn't love last Dynamite, but before that, you had 2 months of good shows. People are down on the fucking WrestleMania build. It feels like you've got some momentum going, and then you just give it all back. What are you doing? Holy shit.
Like, the easiest thing for you to do is just listen to the fans. And he just said, know what? No, I'm right. You're wrong. He's like, that's what he keeps saying to us. Like, he's like, no, I'm right. No, I'm right.
You guys don't get it, man. He's gonna double down on this with the other fucking story that died on the vine. What the fuck are we doing? But if you combine them, no, please don't. Good Lord, what are we doing?
I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen someone with this roster just continually fumble on the 1 yard line. Like, I've never seen anything like this. He keeps running. He runs 99 yards and then fumbles on the 1 yard line. Back-to-back pay-per-views. It's amazing.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Happiest person was definitely Triple H, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be back in the fight. Apparently
He
not.
was like, whew, that was a close one.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this Jay and Gunther rivalry around. He's like, for better or worse, Charlotte and Tiffany is getting attention right now. So
SmackDown's best show last week. I know some of you were thinking it was Raw or Dynamite. No. It was SmackDown. Argue with somebody else. I don't care what you're talking about.
that was the best 3 hours SmackDown. I've said that multiple times this week.
I didn't even know it was 3 hours. I know it was at least 10 minutes. That shit was amazing.
This man loves awful wrestling too much. He loves seeing people get burnt on live TV and train wrecks. You love train wrecks more than good wrestling.
If you can't make it great, don't make it good. Don't make it solid. Don't make it average. Make it fucking awful. And if it's awful, somebody's got to pay. Let's go. Please and thank you. I don't ask for much.
Eric Isaac says, hey, THH fam, it's going to be real interesting the next few months before All In. That's an understatement. Brandon Brown says, Triple H approves of the Bucks screwing over a black man. And then we also got Power Driver Finisher says, he assumes Swerve a black guy. He didn't see color.
I see color. I didn't see no color there. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not gonna let this coonery get off again. We're not gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna let this one. We're not having. You can listen. If I were president, I would allow coonery to exist. It's not my place to tell people what to think. You can think what you want to think.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
You can think what you want to think. That is your right as a fucking adult. Swerve can think black women are awful. That's his opinion. I don't want to change it. But you don't get to think that and then wrap yourself in blackness. You can't do both. You can't then say, I'm head Negro here. Fuck all the way off. I am sorry. And I'm not going to allow you coons to get away with it either. Swerve, stick it up for us. Go fuck yourself. Twice. Please. And thank you.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
If I had a nice word for coons, I would have called you guys that, but I don't.
I didn't expect you to call the audience coons.
Do you have a word that's one step down from coon? I don't want to. Uncle Tom feels like a step up. Ignorant Negroes, does that work? Easily led by your fucking nose? Easily forgiven? Also want to be in the fucking house ass Negroes? How's that? Take anybody's side as long as they kind of resemble your complexion? How's that? Don't care what they think as long as they look the same? How's that? Okay. We'll find it. We'll get there.
We got a super chat donation to start us off today. After all of that, we got a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. So, of course, we're going to give you the mic so you can
speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan, what the hell is wrong with you?
Chuck Berry says, yo, fellas, what are your thoughts on the five-time AEW pay-per-view main eventer, Swerve Strickland's F-bomb comments after Dynasty? This is one case. Like, we talked about the Booker and Swerve controversy a little bit on last week's show, so I won't go into all of that, but I will say, after this week, after what he said after Dynasty, and after hearing what Booker said in response on the Hall of Fame podcast, in this occasion, I kind of see where Booker is coming from.
Ooh,
like,
what did Booker say?
Like,
what's Swerve say? What did Booker say?
Well, Swerve after Dynasty, he cut a promo to the live crowd, talking about, coming up short, being screwed over by the Bucks, and then he ended it off by saying, fuck Booker T. And what Booker said in response at on the Hall of Fame podcast was, this is the end of a pay-per-view. He was like, he doesn't think that Tony Khan appreciate that some of the headlines are going to go to you saying fuck Booker T, and that you should be focused on what happened on the pay-per-view. You should be focused on your show. You shouldn't be saying anything about me. He was like, he basically kind of washed his hands of the whole situation, saying that I won't be bigging you up. I won't be praising you anymore. I won't be saying anything about you anymore and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of get his point. Like, why are you saying that? Why was it necessary? You kind of like people, it was kind of a 9-9 round with the whole thing, from what he said on Vlad TV to what Booker's response was. Both of y'all did not look good coming out of that. So it didn't need to be drugged up again after you got screwed over by the Bucks and Jon Moxley at AEW Dynasty. You should be more upset with them. It should be fuck Jon Moxley, fuck the Death Riders, fuck the Young Bucks, instead of fuck Booker T.
Yeah, it's almost as if Swerve is an inherently selfish person. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. I will say this. We've seen the proper response to these things when Triple H called Ospreay a hoe, and then Ospreay said you fucked your way to the top, and then that was the end of it. That's it. That's it. You said something, and I said something, and we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Move on. I don't need to continue this. That's all some people saying, I don't want to mention names. I don't not do. It's Ibu. I can't believe. Sorry, I remembered the last second. I can't believe
wait, I do know who had said that.
I can't believe they're taking these serious issues and it's become what it's become. Serious issues. It's two fucking arrogant Negroes fighting over arrogant Negro shit. What are we even talking about? No, it's about diversity to wrestling. No, it's not. It certainly fucking is not. This is about Swerve versus Booker T, and it is what it is. Well, fighting for the. I'll be nice. I think I've overused Coon today. I'll be nice. We'll move on. We'll move on. Shall we move on? We'll move on. I'm good. I'll be nice.
Basically, like I said, it was a 9-9 round after one. It was like Swerve is cooning while he drives, and Uncle Booker T, the T standing for Tom, showed himself on the Hall of Fame podcast. So yeah. Oh, I love that. When I said something about Swerve, you laugh. When I say something about Booker T, Jesus.
Because you went Uncle Booker T.
You went
Uncle Booker T. I'm like, okay, that's good. 9-9 round. T stands for Tom. That's two. That's 2 for 1. I'm gonna move.
No, not. No, I had to explain.
I got it.
Some people don't get it. We don't just have black people watching.
And if one of you cocksuckers, we know. Well, at least I know. I don't need to hear about Uncle Tom's the hero of the book. I read the book. I have the book. It's on my shelf right now. I don't need it. Thank you. So what? What? Look at my fucking Latin teacher, Mr. DiGiorno. It was like, television actually shouldn't be called television. It should be called tell us something, because that's Greek and English together. Who cares? It's called television. It will be called that forever. Please stop talking.
I must have been out. I don't remember a Mr. DiGiorno. I just remember Miss DiGiorno.
I remember her too. That was her.
I was just. Yeah, I always heard that her husband was there. I think I got out of Latin by then, but we got Nicky Boy, Negro Buck Nick Jackson in the chat, says, didn't watch Dynamite last night. I was watching the Lakers and Mavs game. Thank you, Luca. Indeed. I just watched the pre-game. I did watch some of the game, but I watched the pre-game with Luca getting emotional off of the highlights of young Luca on the Dallas Mavericks.
So weird. Imagine clips of you and your ex are crying, little bitch. Ugh. I didn't want to leave. She kicked me out. Oh, that's sad. What? Good Lord. Good Lord.
This guy.
Well, at least you get this roaster.
You are a sociopath. We discussed this before the show, but you are a sociopath.
You showed with a hotter girl and you fucking embarrassed the old guys. That's what you should be doing, not crying about it. He's not on TV in front of everybody.
He cried before the game. He didn't cry after.
He cried in front of how many people fit in that fucking building?
Probably like 50,000. No, not that many. It's like 20,000.
Oh,
Brandon Brown says he just became a member. Thank you so much, Brandon Brown, once again becoming a member of the channel. We got Big Man Dog says nothing on this show made me mad. So at least there's that.
That's a win, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win for Dynamite. Negro Bug says Dynasty made me decide I'm not going to All In anymore. LOL.
Seriously?
I'm not surprised. I said this on a Dynasty review. I was like, you guys have to sell out or at least come close to 40,000. John Moxley as AEW World Champion ain't gonna do that.
Unless you got John Moxley versus fucking Dwayne Johnson. I don't see this happening. Good luck to you.
The only way you're gonna do 20,000 is if you be like, you have to hit AEW fans over the head. Like, he's gonna lose. Don't worry, he's gonna lose.
A lot of AEW fans don't fuck with Darby. I'm shocked about this. I love Darby. Darby's fantastic.
I love Darby too, but yeah, I've noticed that too. Some people are very negative about the thing, and I was on the Wrestling's podcast, and they did make good points where they was just like, it is kind of booking malpractice to let someone who's so important to your main event storyline do what he's doing though.
Oh, certainly, it's a terrible idea. On what planet would this even happen?
Yeah, I agree with that. We got M. Bison who says, I'm right, you're wrong is so Vince. I said it. I was like, this man watched the late 2010s Vince McMahon, who's always his type of booking was, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm not going to listen to you, the fans, the people that are my consumers. And Tony Khan, who he was able to create a company because Vince was like that. He said after 6 years, you know what? This guy might have had a good point.
So one man steering the ship, and that's me. I feel bad because AEW is necessary. And I got to be honest, as important as they are, and as healthy as they've been to the wrestling business, I kind of feel like they're dropping the ball on their end. Like, wrestling kind of needs you to be even more important than you are, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah. And like you were basically created on the back of, we're the ones that's going to listen to the fans. The other guys aren't listening to y'all. We're going to listen to y'all. And there's been so many examples of like things that weren't working and the fans complained about it and they pivoted and they moved on from it. But like, it seems like this is the hill he's willing to die on, John Moxley and Death Riders.
I don't understand. I really don't. Like I said before, you owe Moxley a lot. I'm not sure if you owe him that much. Kind of paid your debt in Revolution, I thought.
Like, so weird. We got I Make Beats. He says gaslighting is toxic behavior. I'm just saying. Fair.
I mean, in general, yes. I'm not entirely sure what we're talking about. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I forgot what we said earlier. Big Man Dog says NXT was great. NXT sucked this week, I will say. I was so baffled by everything going on NXT. You did a winner takes all matchup at NXT Roadblock with Vicaire winning both titles. And the whole theory was, oh, Julia's hurt, so they had to get the title off of her. Okay, cool. So then you have her defend the titles 2 weeks later, each title in separate matches. She proves that she's a capable double champion and that she can, that it elevates her aura by being a double champion. And you decide a week later, let's strip her of one of those titles. Then the week after that, the person she won the other title from is back. And we're just going to do a 4-way at Stand and Deliver? Like, we couldn't just do Julia and Vicaire there?
Okay, put it that way. That's an odd choice. I mean, I can make sense of the first part of that, which is they thought Julia was more hurt than she was. She's fine, apparently. That's fine. It's great. So do the match.
Mm-hmm.
Glad she's back. Do the match. Apparently not. A 4-way is an odd choice, all things considered. It's not even like a bad choice. It's not even the worst choice. I just didn't even know that was a choice. It's so odd. But maybe Jada wins and everybody else is called up. It's my working theory.
I mean, if that's the whole thing in the end, then maybe it does make sense. But I don't see that happening. So
Yeah.
I like Jada, but I don't see that happening. Because it really comes down to, does the main roster have room for all three of those ladies? I don't know.
Well, if Charlotte stabs Tiffany,
And Roxanne.
you lose 2 top stars, so that's an issue. And then you just replace them. I'm so looking forward to that match, by the way. You don't understand. I'm so looking forward to that match. I was trying to watch.
I don't know what's gonna happen in that match now.
Right? It was my match with the highest floor. Like, it's the only match I knew was going to be good no matter what. Now I'm not sure, and I'm here for it. It could be fucking awful. Please and thank you.
We got M. Bison who says, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed Dynamite mostly. I thought it was fairly solid.
It's fine.
It was more of a post pay-per-view, let's set up for the bigger show / it was like half and half with that.
Boy, oh boy, these euphemisms you have are hilarious. There's a party match, I've heard. There is a maintenance show. There is, a setup, the next pay-per-view show. Filler is the words he's looking for. Filler. Nonsense. Fucking could have skipped this horse shit is what he's looking for. I like the effort. I'm here for the effort.
I'm here for the effort, though. Davion says, damn, 2 disclaimers already. I mean, when he called y'all coons, that's when I had to get a disclaimer. So.
Only because I didn't have a proper word for it. You're not quite coons. Like, coons would be like the secondary evolution of the Pokemon. You guys are the first. You guys are the first version. Coons is Charmeleon, and you guys are fucking Charmander. I just don't have the word for it. I'm working on it. Coonette, maybe.
Coonette.
Cooney. I'll work on it. I'm on the case.
Oh, man. RP Jesus says, they're really acting like this in front of white folks on white platforms. Talking about Swerve.
That's a strictly black thing. That's a strictly black thing. Where you can do whatever you want, just not in front of other white people. Like, it's wild. It's embarrassing. You're embarrassing the race. It's definitely a fucking 1940s Southern thing that's lived until this very day.
We got Terrence Sullivan who says John Moxley got AEW in a chokehold. It does seem like that. It does.
You would think he's fucking some ridiculous fucking star. It's Hulk Hogan. We don't see Hulk Hogan. I don't understand this.
He's AEW's Hulk Hogan.
Sold out the Georgia Dome, brother. Was he even at All In when they did that fucking 81 or 70, whatever, or 50 people there? Was he there?
He was in Stadium Stampede.
Oh my God. Good Lord. I don't think that qualifies.
That was the real draw, brother. That was the real draw. Hey, me and Macho and
Saraya sold out Madison Square Garden, brother. You let him know.
Davion says Jimmy Macram is a legend. I agree. We also got Big Man Does, who lets us know that Ibu said Mox is retaining against Ospreay at All In and Kenny Okada main events.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to watch that just for that. Awesome. I can't imagine the fucking reaction. Holy shit. He beats fucking Will Ospreay, the Great White Hope. Holy shit.
That would be so hilarious. That would just be like, holy shit. He's really on it. He's really like, fuck you guys. Like, I literally said so many times on the post show with Alex Pulaski on Fightful Select, I was like, what you saying fuck me for? What you saying fuck me for? That's how that ending of that pay-per-view felt like.
What the fuck? But Moxley, if that's the match, is your obviously main event. Why do you guys live in the past so much? Can I ask you that? Do you have a reason for this? Or you guys live in like 5 and 10 year ago increments? Like, you can never move on from Hangman and Swerve. You can never move on from Omega and Ospreay. Like, what is this obsession you have with living nostalgically through something that happened a little while ago? It's wild. Never 20 years ago. That thing that happened yesterday. Can we do that again? How? The fuck? Jesus.
Davion says, CK said, I think Timu NWO is a great storyline.
They put another bullet in that last night, by the way, which I found hilarious. Fucking, it's a peace offering. That's not how the NWO works. You don't give peace offerings, and then you get to survive. What the fuck are we doing? Oh my god, this is the mess. Peace offering.
We got yeah, I do agree with that though. Nikki Boy says that would suck, but I wouldn't mind Kenny and Okada main eventing. I mean, it would be the right choice for main event. I'll give him that.
How is your number one guy, which is what Moxley is? You can all not like it. TK likes it, so it really matters. Your number one guy against y'all's number one guy, not the main event of the show. On what planet does that fucking happen?
Because the result is not going to be what we want. This would be the equivalent of like of what WCW did do at Starrcade 1997, of have Hogan beat Sting.
Yeah. And guess what? It has the main event. I'm sorry. We're gonna put fucking. I'll be nice though, Megan. They're stars. We'll be nice, but like, come on. Stop.
Good to see Pluggo in the chat. Look at these suds. What's good, fam? Good to see you, sir. Thanks you for watching today. And Talking Bruce is our last comment before we get into the show. Says talking Barca, excuse me. I think Will is winning at All In. We would all hope. That's the hope.
You can imagine. Yeah.
I don't know if you should say I think. I think it should be more of I hope.
Yeah. I hope. We all hope.
Because at this point, that's all we have with this whole Moxley Death Riders thing. Like I heard somebody was suggesting, oh man, maybe they take the title off of him at Double or Nothing. I was like, after Dynasty, he has to go into All In now. Like he's forced his hand. He's already showed his hand. He now has to go into All In as the champion.
Read that last comment. Read that fucking last comment. And tell me this isn't severe mental illness or some type of Munchausen syndrome where you keep falling in love with your abuser. I don't understand. Why, sir? No, LOL is not strong enough for your joking.
When a wrestling booker tells you, I'm right, you're wrong, too many times, you lose all trust. There's all trust.
I believe him.
Yeah.
I just believe him.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Feel free.
Cool. All right. If I didn't get paid to cover you, I'd be checked out. But okay. But let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite, which took place from Baltimore, Maryland. What did you think about the crowd last night in Baltimore?
Mid. To be nice. So I can't blame them. They're all pretty down, I would imagine.
Yes.
They only here because they bought these fucking tickets before Dynasty. Guess we'll go.
Oh man. And you were, and the funniest part is that you were one of the people that said you think Moxley should win a Dynasty.
Yeah. I don't think Swerve has anything to offer. And then that came out stronger than I would have liked. I don't think Swerve has anything to offer as champion again. His character is exactly the same as was the first time. However, I did turn around on that because I felt like, all right, well, at least he's talented. And then you guys started doing Swerve Hangman again. I was like, all right, never mind, I'm out. You proved my point. You got nothing new to offer. Gotcha. Good Lord. Jesus.
He'd never faced him for the title. That's the news. That's the news. He never faced him for the title. This should have been the program to do at All In. But let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. It comes on air with Excalibur welcoming us alongside Tony Schiavone and Taz as the road to Double or Nothing has begun. They throw it over to the Death Riders backstage, as Jon Moxley said that this is the single greatest roster of pure talent ever assembled in AEW. So why can't anyone get their act together when it counts? They come with their talent, yet roll back down the hill, not addressing the real problem. They don't want it. The Death Riders will scorch the earth with anyone who calls themselves a contender before they give an inch. The Young Bucks have returned, but Moxley doesn't recognize them anymore, as they've stumbled upon a board and they don't know what game it is. Moxley said that he would be careful if he was them before making any moves.
Good Lord.
What did you think about this soliloquy?
Well delivered, at least. I understood what the fuck he was saying. But ass. Like, none of it is interesting or true. Best roster. You don't lose Dragon and Punk to be a better roster. It's not how that works. That's number one. And then number two, fucking what? They don't want it. Why are we doing this? Why do you want it? Why are you here? What is this the point? I thought you were changing things. Why have you failed in your mission for all these months if nothing has changed? Maybe you're terrible at your job. I hate all of this. Oh, good Lord.
It's like goddamn, like it's very edgelord type promos. Like now, like it's just like I don't. It's not very interesting. How are you gonna keep me compelled into this story? With this stuff, I do like the fact that it was like a theme in the original part of the story that Moxley would have these promos after his pay-per-view wins. The best one was the first one after Wrestle Dream when they're riding in the car and he cuts that promo. That was the promo that got us all excited about this whole program, this whole story. But now that was 6 months ago.
Jesus, and it's like he's not winning these matches fairly, so it's like this whole badass shtick doesn't fly. It just doesn't.
Like, he needs to be booked. He should have been booked like how he was booked at Wrestle Dream. He just beat Danielson. He didn't cheat to beat Danielson. He just beat him.
Murdered. We move on.
He should have murdered Orange Cassidy, but he didn't. Wheeler Yuta helped him. He should have found a way to beat Jay White and Orange Cassidy and Hangman in the 4-way, because he said the whole story going into that matchup was, you guys are too worried about fighting each other. I'm going to win. And then he needed help to win that one as well. He needed help to beat Cope. It couldn't just be the Death Riders helping him. No, Death Riders were out of the picture. It was Christian Cage getting involved that helped him win there. And then the Death Riders returned, and then it wasn't them that helped him beat Cope the second time. It was the patriarchy that time. And now he's used the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks now are the reason why he won against Swerve.
It doesn't help that he has no agency over any of these things. It's not like he's a genius. And he hired the patriarchy. He hired the Young Bucks. This is just shit that's happening to him randomly. Like, let's keep the belt. This is awful.
I remember when he was the best 1-minute promo in wrestling. Those were the days.
Well, Reign of Terror. Ooh.
Yeah, this is very much feeling like Reign of Terror, Triple H. Like, after he wins the title from Michaels, after Michaels beat him at Elimination Chamber, and then he goes on that long run until Goldberg beats him at Unforgiven. Not even the spot he was supposed to beat him. So it's very much like Reign of Terror, Triple H.
And much like that reign, you watch ratings go down, and you're going, why doesn't the boss, who's the one who has the power to stop this? I get that you like him, but like he's not going any fucking where. Just take the belt off him. Kane is fucking bumping the ratings outrageously by being a nut. Take the Kane. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. So bad. Then we have him in action here as he kicks off the show. Jesus. Jon Moxley going one-on-one with Katsuyori Shibata.
Oh, Lord. What the fuck are we doing? You're trying to run us off. This is a Ponzi scheme.
Shibata got the early advantage in the grappling battle between the two men, leaving Moxley scrambling to the ropes to recoup. We got Moxley opting to go for strikes as they start chopping each other, and it works better for him, only for Shibata to scream for more before sweeping out the leg and applying an abdominal stretch into the octopus hold. Signature stalling dropkick by Shibata in the corner. He goes for it, but Moxley popped up when he goes for a second one and hits him with a big lariat. Shibata kicks out at 1. Moxley then picks him up and delivers a power driver, but Shibata no-sells it and hits him with the PK flush. They start trading rear naked chokes. Shibata has him in the choke until Moxley rakes the highs with the referee behind them, not able to see. He then sinks in a choke. He traps the arm, and Shibata has no choice, but he is out of it via referee stoppage. Jon Moxley picks up the victory here. Very quick matchup here. I think it went like 5 minutes, if that. Post-match, though, we get the Young Bucks make their way to the ring before Moxley and Shafir could... Before Moxley and Shafir could leave. Moxley gets into the ring and they stare down with Shafir stepping between them. The camera didn't catch what Moxley said before he and Shafir left through the crowd. Nicholas Jackson gets on the mic and he told the crowd to give it up for Jon Moxley, the World Heavyweight Champion. He ordered the fans to also show respect for the EVPs. Everyone wonders why they cost Swerve Strickland the AEW World title at Dynasty. They did it for their good friend Hangman Adam Page, as this is what he always wanted all along. He never wanted Swerve to be the champion ever again, and they did that for him. They never forget who their friends are, and they love Hangman just like they know that he loves them. Matthew then gets on the mic and he says that they did it as a peace offering to Jon Moxley and the Death Riders second. They sat at home and realized they have more in common with the Death Riders than they think. They want AEW to be the best company in the world, just like the Bucks do. They all want to change the world. The Bucks are impressed with Moxley, who did what they couldn't do. He took over AEW, and they even got the AEW World title. Imagine the Death Riders with the founding fathers, the EVPs, together. So they invited Moxley and crew back to the ring to discuss some business, but instead, the music of Kenny Omega hits. Kenny Omega comes down to the entranceway. Excalibur told us that you can't mention founding fathers without mentioning Kenny Omega, who got a huge ovation from this Baltimore crowd. Omega said that the Bucks did this for their friends, like Moxley and Hanger, but they forgot to mention the last time that they saw one other friend. The Elite pushed him off a stretcher during the height of his diverticulitis. Omega never forgot, but he actually forgave them, as when he returned, it was for his legacy, not revenge. We're trying to bring the feeling back, as Omega talks about, Omega talks about being back in high school, and he says that this whole thing reminds him of then. He'd go to his friend's house and to hang out, and the friend had a few dogs, ugly little Shih Tzus, who would always dookie on the floor. Over time, the more dookie would pile up, he finally put his foot down and brought up how they should hang out at his place. It's the equivalent of what the Bucks have done in AEW since he's been gone. Omega said that the Bucks shredded documents the last time that we saw them, and we're supposed to be shocked by that, when all it was were them shredding receipts for private jets and a chair in his master bedroom facing your bed, a little cup chair joke. Omega said that if it wasn't for the Death Riders, it was the Bucks that almost killed the company. Omega gave his heart and soul for. Omega can't lie that time off did them real wonders. Nick looks even every bit of the 90 pounds he lost before, while Matt needs to lay off the hot stuff as he looks as red as Nick's lapels. Omega said that it's time to cut out the middlemen, and he says that he'll come into the ring and he'll fight them right there and right now. Before that could happen, though, the coin dropped. sounded, and Kazuchika Okada power walks down to the ring. It was looking like a 3-on-1 with Okada and the Bucks and Kenny Omega. When Swerve Strickland's music hits, Swerve comes down with a steel chair from the crowd. He comes into the ring with Nana, and the Bucks and Okada bail quickly. Swerve death stares the Bucks before glancing over at Omega. He eventually gives Omega a fist bump, and Omega leaves the ring to Swerve. Swerve proclaims that it is buck hunting season, and he has a shotgun ready to go blasting on the EVPs. Before Swerve can continue, Pac blindsides him from behind as we're heading into our second match before the commercial break. But let's talk about everything that went down in this opening segment. First, Jimmy, what did you think about Shibata and Moxley? The Bucks' explanation on why they turned on Swerve, Kenny Omega's response, and Swerve having the back of Kenny and them seemingly coming to some type of agreement. My thoughts are the match was very quick. It was inoffensive, but very quick. Can't really score it or say it's good, bad, or indifferent. It was just very quick. As far as the Young Bucks explanation, the first part of it makes sense. They did it for Hangman. The second part about a peace offering for the Death Riders, yeah, that's not how peace offerings work. I do agree with you. Just like I said with favors, with Seth Rollins to Paul Heyman, that's not how favors work. This is not how peace offerings work. As far as Kenny Omega's response, this is why Kenny Omega is a much better American TV promo when he's a heel. When he's a heel, he can say this awkward, sarcastic, funny stuff, and it just comes off as he's an annoying heel. When he says it as a babyface, it's just very jarring and just is like, what are we even talking about? This is not the silly path that we should have gone on. These guys are trying to hurt you while you had a disease, and you're out here doing jokes about shih tzus instead of whooping their ass. Like, I was like, what is going on? The Swerve being aligned with Kenny is interesting, but like, it took a while to get to that part. So I can't even say this is good. It's just weird. Jimmy, what did you think about the match, the promos, and everything?
First things first, I'm going to withhold judgment until I hear Heyman's response. But if somebody fucking puts a gun to your face and then doesn't pull the trigger, you don't owe them a favor. That's not how that works. I don't think that's quite how that works, at least. As far as everything that happened here, I'm thinking about how hard I want to go on this. Because nobody here was any worse than they always are. If you would have told me that this is what this is going to sound like beforehand, I would have said, yeah, that sounds about right. Omega comes out. He looks exhausted. He is wearing shorts, and he just got out of the gym, apparently. The Bucks look, small in comparison. And they're going to talk a whole bunch of uncharismatic nonsense. That all happened. As far as the excuses went, listen, the first part can be written off as their heels, and they're just yapping because they yap. They fired Hangman, the last we saw from the Elite, and now they're doing him a favor. That doesn't make any sense. But
they teamed up with him in Blood and Guts. They fired.
Oh, right. I forgot. This is when Hangman was out of his fucking mind. It was attacking Swerve. Out of the blue, but you know what I mean. Out of turn, we'll say. We can write that off as their usual nonsense. Peace offering, I don't know. What happened to the old Young Bucks? They're old. And now they're on national TV. And you realize that, I don't say this nicely, that thing you liked when you were 15 isn't that fucking cool. You were just 15. And two guys running around pretending to be Shawn Michaels isn't as interesting as you thought it was when you were 15. Duh. I could have told you that beforehand. Now, as far as the rest of the shit, listen, we got to be honest. Omega was the worst. I like Kenny Omega. He's a star. He's one of the only two draws in this fucking place. But he was bad. We can say it's because he was a babyface here instead of a heel. All of this is bad to me. I got to be honest. But like a deadening kind of bad. Like I've seen this. Thank you. That's probably the way to put it. I've seen all of this before in some form or fashion. That's all they fucking do. This is all they do, ever. The Bucks, at least. The Elite storyline is good. Sure. Which storyline are we talking about? The one that's been going on for 20 years now? That one? Fucking 6 years with AEW TV? That one? Just same nonsense over and over again. I don't understand this. I'm so very confused. Somebody has to tell me the point of all this. Like, I can tell you the point of the Reign of Terror. The point of Reign of Terror is Triple H's power fantasy that he didn't get to have while Austin Rock around. So now we're going to do it now that they're not here. It's not to draw money. It can't be. It can't be to draw money because it isn't. Somebody needs to know what the point of this is. If you want to tell me it's a power fantasy, agreed. But it's bad.
This is the reign that Moxley wish he had in WWE when he had Seth and Roman to deal with.
And now, how much you want to bet Moxley loses the belt in some type of Cody Roman WrestleMania 40S match?
Yes. They're going to try to do Cody and Roman at All In with Ospreay.
You hope.
Hope. Yes, hope. Hope is the only thing we got.
Really, it's Wrestle Dream. Darby. You're welcome.
You're probably right. That's why I said, oh God. It's because you're probably right. It's probably Wrestle Dream. It's going to be a 1-year title reign.
What the fuck? This place is a mess. What the fuck is going on?
Talking Braga, it's not that we hate the Death Rider storyline. You say I don't actually mind it. You don't like it though. You're not saying you like it. No one likes this. Like you can say that's the best that you can do is say I don't mind it. It is an albatross on this fucking company. It's dragging it down to the bottom of the fucking ocean. You should mind that if you like AEW. You should mind the Death Rider story because it is bad. It is not good, and no one can say they like it.
Oh shit! Wrestle Dream is in Seattle, right? Or like up near there.
Usually it is.
Definitely went in there. Darby's definitely went in there, and Dragon's gonna come back to help to win there. Definitely.
Dragon is the Undertaker.
Definitely. Holy shit. He draws the most views on YouTube, huh? Okay, well, that's something. That is something.
I saw that too. I saw that report too. I seen him get a million views on YouTube, but you do know that you can enhance those type of numbers, right? If you're a corporation or company.
Shit.
If you're a billionaire.
Wow. Jesus. I bring you to the dark side, absolutely. Corporations ain't shit.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised. I saw the numbers too. It's all good. You can keep it going, but it's not good. I love the people that were like even after Dynasty, I had people in my comments like, oh, you don't get it. This is good. This is it all makes sense. It all makes sense with the Young Bucks. I was like, no, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying it's not good. Like that's the thing. That's the thing.
Thank you. That's what I be saying. You gotta understand.
Like you can make anything make sense in wrestling, but it's either good or it's not. And this storyline is not good.
Yeah, I've seen lots of movies that make sense. It just stinks. Sorry, it bores me to tears. I'm so annoyed. Hey, whatever. Somebody's gonna pay eventually. It is what it is. Oh, wow, Big Man, that's a good point. You never think I'd hear that from an AEW fan. That is kind of wild. You got to understand, he's a big draw, brother. Moxley's a big draw, brother. So that's why he's got the belt. That's how that works, brother. They really are stealing fucking the Fed's whole thing. He's a draw, brother. That's why he's got the big bucks.
He's a draw. It's like,
okay. Roman, LOL.
That's like telling me Roman in 2023 was great because he's a draw. even though he's not here half the time. That's like telling me Hulk Hogan in 1998 was great because he's a draw.
And it's not translating the fuck. What was Tony Khan care about fucking $2,048 worth of AdSense revenue? What's he give a fuck about that? Maybe he cared about his TV deal. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Oh. Exposed. Fair enough.
Oh man, it sucks. It sucks. It's not good. And the Elite stuff, I've been a fan of the Elite storyline, but this was not their best work. This was not their best work at all. At all. I like 30% of this. Like I said, I like we did it for the Hangman. We did it for the Hangman because we're a good friend. And I wish that Kenny would have interrupted them before the peace offering part of this. Because when they say we care about our friends, that should be when Kenny comes out, because he knows for a fact you do not care about your friends. Look what you did to me. And he should have just said that first part and cut out the whole story about high school.
Yeah, that's wild. He's a draw, so he's got to get his 5-minute promo in. Yeah. I mean, I get the Death Rider part. You do need to address why they feel comfortable just showing up when they were hauling ass last time. And they should have said Moxley's come across like a bitch recently, so I'm not afraid anymore.
Oh, man. So awful. So bad. But next up, we get Swerve Strickland after the commercial break. He goes one-on-one with Pac of the Death Riders. Swerve recovered right as the match officially began, slamming Pac repeatedly into the barricade outside. Back in the ring, Strickland hit a violent buckle bomb and a leaping corner uppercut before hitting the gritty on Pac. Pac, though, he rolled to the outside and he looked visibly hurt as the referee and doctor checked on Pac, who apparently legit hurt his ankle or foot. They all sort of kind of had to reset as Pac rolled slowly into the ring. He was hobbled on one leg, and I guess he basically said, let's go to the finish, because Swerve hits him with a thrust kick, and then he goes up top. He finishes him off with the Swerve Stomp. 1, 2, 3. Swerve Strickland picks up the victory here in less than 5 minutes. This one could have been probably the best match on the show, and probably the match that's closest to qualifying a Jimmy Macram TV main event. But it's unfortunate that on a buckle bomb of all things, like a buckle bomb, you've seen it hurt people's like head injuries, back injuries, but never I've seen it with an ankle or a leg injury. It's just a freak accident. So I'm hoping that Pac, it's not that serious that he's going to be out for a while. Post-match, Swerve looked into the camera and he reminded the Young Bucks that he took care of them last time when they faced In Blood and Guts. So he's going to take care of them again. Any thoughts on this matchup or the injury to Pac that was suffered here?
I feel bad for Pac. Though, can we be honest? I'm not entirely surprised. Some people just don't catch all the breaks. Pac is one of those people. Just hurt a lot. Even on fluke shit, which is how you know it's kind of a prone thing. He got hurt. What, did he jump weird? No, buckle bomb. Hurt his foot. Sure. All right.
Like what?
As far as the match goes, match would have been good. It was fine when it was happening. Swerve is how do I say this nicely? He's caught in a bit of a funk here because he's now going to get sucked into this fucking vortex. You poor bastard. Which is wild because he's one of the most interesting characters on AEW TV. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Sorry to break the news to you. It's over. You guys had a nice little run there with Swerve. He was your hero. Yeah. Of course he was. Fucking coons. But
yep.
Yeah. Now he's in this elite thing. We'll see how it goes. I got news for you. It won't go well.
Hey, I've been giving you credit. You were the first one who said that the Death Riders thing wasn't going to work after like 3 weeks after Wrestle Dream.
Once you lose the plot, I mean, that's kind of how the whole move was based on. Once we start doing other shit, it's over. It's a goddamn shame.
Yeah.
That could have been something.
It is. It really could have. It really could have. It had all the potential in the world.
Barker, is that you selling me on something? I feel like you're threatening me, and I'm not here for it. Jack Perry will be back. Everybody else has been shitting on you. I've been quiet. I've said nothing to you, and then you essentially cussed me out. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that at all.
Backstage, Renee Paquette tries to get a word with Hangman Adam Page, who is power walking before he storms into the Swerve Strickland's locker room. He screams at Prince Nana, asking where Swerve is at. He tells Nana to sit down and listen. He wants to make something clear. At Dynasty, he wasn't trying to help Swerve. Next week, Page starts the Owen Hart Cup, and if Swerve intervenes, he'll pick up where they left off. Page goes to leave when Nana stops him, and he tries to apologize. He says, I've been wanting to tell you something for over a year now. He's like, I'm sorry. And before he can finish, Page cuts him off and says not to say another damn word. He doesn't get to say that. Page storms out. I really like this segment. The Prince Nana he's been so good in these roles of elevating Swerve storylines. He did this in the Ricochet rivalry, and he did that here. I thought he was really good here.
And Nana was great. At some point, we're gonna have to accept the facts of these things. I know you're starting to see it. I can tell by the tone of your voice last time we were texting. I can tell he sees it. At Dynasty, I was not trying to help Swerve. Please shut up. Please stop talking. Or take some acting lessons. Good Lord. We've got to come to this conclusion at some point or another. That when Hangman doesn't have fucking fire behind him, he's rough to listen to. No disrespect.
It's because he's still trying to play the heel character, yet you have kind of already did the babyface turn back. So it's very conflicting to me.
Okay. I thought he just sucked at talking.
No, I don't think he sucks at talking. I think he is a good promo.
When I say sucks, I don't mean literally sucks. I mean sucks for his perception, sucks for his position. He is not this fantastic promo you all claim him to be. He is fine for a wrestler. Sorry. He's a great character, but don't confuse character with promo work, which you guys often do. Or what somebody's saying with how they're saying it. He says it horribly. No disrespect. A little disrespect. Apologies, but I can't say it without it. Sorry. I did like the formatting. I thought it looked good.
Yeah.
Little soap opera-y, but hey, I'm here for that as long as there's no fucking music behind it. I don't need it. Just talk.
I like the intention of following up after the big angle at the end of the show. The end of Dynasty was a bad angle. So I have to live with the fact that some of this is also going to be bad. But I like the fact that you were addressing the big angle.
You know how we can address it? Fucking Matt and Nick Jackson can walk down a hallway very slowly and get into a limousine and it fucking blows up. Big angle. And then we can have first ratings.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
You'd have done a huge number next week. As long as fucking Benoit doesn't kill himself, we'll be rolling.
Why? Why do you say these things?
Help.
We get a video. No, that's not helpful. Video package on the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament airs. We hear from Billy Starks and Jamie Hayter. We hear from Harley Cameron alongside Mercedes Moné. And then they make the announcement that it will be this Saturday on Collision. Jamie Hayter going up against Billy Starks in the quarterfinals of the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. Meanwhile, Athena will go one-on-one with Harley Cameron. Cameron. And more importantly, the winner of Athena versus Harley Cameron will move on to the semifinals, which will be next week in Boston, Massachusetts. AEW Dynamite Spring Breakthrough. It will be Mercedes Moné versus the winner of Athena versus Harley Cameron.
Good Lord, that logo is heinous. Break. It's so fucking big because it puts two words together. You fucking idiot. Jesus. Sorry. Go ahead. Ever took a graphic design class? Good Lord.
What do you think about either Mercedes versus Harley next week or Mercedes versus Athena?
I would imagine it's Mercedes and Athena in Boston, which makes a lot of sense. It was fun to see Harley and Mercedes together again. I mean, Harley's great. The more Harley I get, the better the show is.
They always have good, strong chemistry with each other.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Brett has strong chemistry with fucking Kevin Nash. Sure. Maybe it's because he's Brett. You considered that? You considered maybe that's what it is? Maybe Harley's just hilarious. And Mercedes does a great job of standing there. Yes, stand here while I work magic. You guys are really looking forward to this match? I guess I am too. We're going to see if you guys are right about Athena. We'll see.
You said it qualifies as a main event.
It does. We're not talking about star power. We're talking about quality. We're going to see if she's as good as you all say she is.
We hear from both teams in our next matchup. We hear from Team Ricochet, who are going to be on one side of the explosive 8-man tag team matchup for $400,000. Ricochet says that he's the captain of his team now, and there's a lot he can do with $400,000, ignoring the fact that the $400,000 has to be split between them. Love Ricochet here. While the babyface team is led by Will Ospreay, but Mark Briscoe is of course the talker of the foursome, which is hilarious. Mark Briscoe says that the word of the day is entrepreneurial. It says, Ospreay, Will, what you gonna do with your $100,000? He says that he's going to Disney World. He asks his Speedball Mike Bailey. He says that he will buy some shoes. Kevin Knight, being a Jimmy Macram thoughts, he says he's going to Magic City. And Mark Briscoe,
my God.
After the Magic City line, Mark Briscoe is asked what he's going to do, and he says, well, actually, I'm going to diversify my portfolio. And they all get amped up for the 8-man tag team matchup. I thought this was shot great. Where they were shooting this was awesome.
It was interesting, at the very least. They look out of place. They look insane. You understand this, right? The way they shot is awesome. Yeah, if you wanted to make it like pop, but these four psychopaths dressed like this in front of like this tough guy thing, this fucking dirt where fucking kids skateboard and sell drugs. This is insanity. That aside, what the fuck is Will Ospreay doing? This is the guy that's beating John Moxley for the belt. Like Steve Austin hand out with the Godfather and Goldust and the Boss Man. Like, what is this? What is this? I don't understand.
Who's the boss man here? Who's the boss man here?
Mark Briscoe's the boss man. Mark Briscoe's clearly the boss man.
No, Mark Briscoe is more like Road Dogg at this point.
Hard pound. Whatever. Is there a reason they're fighting $400,000 outside of the fact that Tony Khan had it in kayfabe?
Tony Khan has it, and he wants to give it up for the winner of this matchup.
Why? That's what I'm saying. Why do you have to try to sell me on fucking everything? Just put the fucking match on you want to put on, you fucking cocksucker. No, it's $400,000. Tune in. No.
It's for something. It's for $400,000.
Good Lord.
And that leads to our party match of the show. Will Ospreay teaming up with Kevin the Jet Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Mark Briscoe to verse Ricochet, the Beast Mortos, and the crew, not the crew, Leo Rush and Action Andretti. Ricochet immediately bailed to have Beast Mortal start things off with Speedball, who hit a quick Hurricane Rana off the second rope as Ricochet tried to blind tag and sneak attack his way in. Bailey was ready, so Rush tagged in, as did Will Ospreay. Andretti ran distraction to allow a blindside as Ospreay stomped out of in the corner. Ospreay managed to break free, and we got an 8-man stalemate. Ricochet ran his mouth too much, and all hell broke loose. The babyfaces got each man in one of the corners and did 40 punches in the corner. Thank you, Taz, for keeping count. Before locomotion splashes and overhand chops waffled Ricochet, the heels went outside where Briscoe and Ospreay hit stereo dives on Crew. Knight flew over the ring post onto Mortos, while Bailey hit a springboard moonsault onto the pile with the babyfaces standing tall and meeting. They all put their hands together in a celebration, but then Ricochet tried to do a dive over the top rope, but everyone moved out the way, which led to Ricochet landing on his feet, which was very impressive. But then he realized that he was screwed, and we got a very gifable moment as Ricochet turned around and all 4 men said bald before slapping him across the head, similar to what Speedball and Omega did to him at Dynasty. He's got paintbrush, but when we come back from commercial break, Bailey was lighting up Mortos with kicks, running shooting star press, and then Mortos started hulking up. He flattened Bailey with a lung blower into a double down. Ricochet tagged in first and posed for the crowd before missing a springboard dive. Bailey took out Crew with charging boots, only to turn her into a massive double stomp by Ricochet. Briscoe ran in and cleaned house for a bit, but then Mortos hits a pop-up Samoan drop. Mortos tried the same thing on Kevin Knight, but he reversed it into a spike DDT. Crew back in, showed off their speedy offense with Rush hitting Rush Hour and Andretti hitting a flying neckbreaker. Ospreay sprinted in and hit a springboard double Pele onto Crew. We then get Mortos. He stands off with Briscoe and Bailey after Bailey missed the double knees moonsault. They both do a crane kick. They sort of connect with a crane kick. Well, Ospreay flew in with the Os Cutter on Mortos. Then Kevin Knight followed up with the UFO splash. He tried to get the victory, but all the heels broke up the count. Everyone spilled in, but it was left to Ospreay and Mortos in the ring. Ospreay finishes things off with the hidden blade for the 1-2-3 to win the $400,000 for the babyface team here. I thought this was a super fun matchup. It was all action throughout. Love the moment with Ricochet being called bald, which seemingly is becoming a thing with him. But this was a blast, and the crowd was into it the entire way, so I enjoyed it. What did you think, Jimmy?
A waste of my time. Fun for some people, clearly. It's like watching the climax of a Transformers movie. If you like seeing shit blow up, I guess you enjoyed it. I don't particularly. When there's no story.
You just said you wanted the Young Bucks to go into a limo and blow it up.
$400,000. Why would I enjoy that, sir? You're almost at the point. Why would I enjoy that? Because they would go away. It's the point of blowing up. Jesus. Yeah. This was I was gonna say harmless, but it's still too long to be harmless. This was good for people with ADD. Except for attention. Better than the Bucks. How's that?
You don't like fun. Dion Jenkins says Speedball and Ospreay do this goofy thing where they pose and either run the ropes or do a flip. It's a good way to put it.
That's probably why I'm upset, because Ospreay's here, and you get Steve Austin look like a fucking bum.
Tight matches. If you're looking for story, look to the world title seed and Mox.
Is that my only options? Fucking no story and fucking ass. That's it. Jesus. All right. Well, if those are my choices, we'll take the fucking 6-man, I suppose, or the 8-man.
I enjoyed it. We saw footage of FTR violently turning heel on Cope at Dynasty. Were you able to catch that part of it?
I did. The heel turn.
How'd you like it?
I didn't watch the match. Very good. I thought it was really well done. I always love how in wrestling you go from kind of decent to the worst person ever in just one angle.
I love the neck brace and in reviving him part of it when they put on the neck brace.
What in the fuck?
I'll mute you. Don't worry. But we hear from commentary again who question if we'll ever see Cope again in All Elite Wrestling, as the injuries he sustained on Sunday have ruled him out indefinitely. The camera zooms in on Tony Schiavone, who says that he's seen some low, disgusting acts over his wrestling career, but what FTR did takes the cake. And Dax Harwood's daughter would be ashamed of her father. Oh shit. Yeah, I think Tony Schiavone is gonna pay for that last line. You don't talk about Dax's daughter in vain. But that sets up this coming Saturday on Collision. And we hear from FTR following their heel turn, following their betrayal of their former friend Cope. So we'll see what they have to say there. But I said it on the Dynasty review. I will say it here again. I enjoyed the FTR heel turn a lot. Davion says, Jimmy said, I don't want fun on my wrestling show. Basically, that is what he's saying. He hates fun. He hates, as Big Man Dogs puts it, fast food wrestling. You should enjoy it. It's fun. Big Man Dogs says Tony Schiavone gave FTR the speech he should have given Mox when he attacked Willow, or Mox when he suffocated Bryan Danielson with a plastic bag, because that's a lot worse than what FTR did. I don't know about everybody else, but the BCC turning on Bryan Danielson was worse than FTR turning on Cope, but he didn't keep that same energy. Dion says Will Ospreay needs to be a little selfish. He's got main event potential. Elevate yourself, then elevate others. I can agree with that. And I do agree with Power Driver Finisher. He says Dax is totally going to get hands on Schiavone. Poor Schiavone. We barely knew him. Next up, we get the Hurt Syndicate, because they hurt people. Somebody's gotta die. Oh, I wanted to let me unmute you. What do you have any thoughts on what Schiavone said about FTR, about Dax's daughter being ashamed of him?
I was gonna ask me if I had fucking thoughts. I do have fucking thoughts. So I'm getting interrupted at fucking 2:30 in the afternoon. What are we talking about? I'm so fucking annoyed.
What Schiavone had to say about Dax Harwood's daughter should be ashamed of him.
That's wild. That's a general idea. This is wrestling. People kill people all the time. Why are you bringing his daughter into it? But hey, I assume somebody's going to pay for his crimes. And if he pays for his crimes by being murdered and moved to Collision permanently, I will be here for it.
Sounds good to me. Then we get the Hurt Syndicate for their championship celebration. MVP said that Punk's jump up to get beat down. Love that. As two more challengers stepped up for the tag team championship and two more got beat up. Lashley and Benjamin raised bottles of champagne as MVP toasts to another successful defense until the music of Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, is here. He came into the ring and he falls in line with the rest of the Hurt Syndicate as Bobby Lashley looks absolutely disgusted.
Oh, I'll be using that from now on. Look at that face.
MJF said, they hurt people. Look at them, dripping in gold. You're welcome, by the way, as this couldn't have come at a better time. Wolf. He says that Tony Khan wanted him to do the Owen Hart tournament. For what? Sweat his balls off? He doesn't think so. This way, MJF can get back his AEW world title as he scratched their backs without his help, Wolf, and now they can help him. MJF acts as MVP. What's the initiation process? Is it like an old school blood oath or contract? What's going on? Lashley told MJF to shut his mouth, as it was really cute that MJF tried to help them, but he didn't get the job done, as it's another reason they don't need him. MJF and Bobby Lashley start arguing a bit. So Shelton Benjamin and MVP has to get between the two men. MVP says that in order for MJF to join the Syndicate, he has to get 3 thumbs up. MVP, with his history with MJF, gives him the thumbs up. But Shelton Benjamin has his thumbs in the middle and eventually puts his thumbs down. Lashley says thank you, and he hugs his tag team partner. They take their AEW World Tag Team Championships and leave, as MVP gives MJF a shrug, who also leaves, and it leaves Maxwell alone, frustrated, and shoving the camera out of his face. Later in the show, we caught up once again with the Hurt Syndicate as we had Alicia Atout was backstage with the Hurt Syndicate and asked them where things go from here with MJF. Lashley said that MJF is not to be trusted and he doesn't like MJF and we don't need him. Benjamin admits they don't need anyone, but little George Cassandra is actually kind of funny. Lashley is pissed by that comment. He walks away alone, and before there is a knock. Before Shelton follows him behind him, and then there's a knock at the door. In comes Maxwell Jacob Freeman, who says to Atout, "This is an A-B conversation, to see your skank ass out of here." He then slaps her on the ass and said, he'll see her around, as that's his real life girlfriend. MJF asks his MVP if he's a female dog to him and why he keeps getting treated like a bitch. MVP said they know exactly who MJF is, but they're in a business. And as a consumer, you find out what they want and you give it to them. MVP walks out and MJF is left to think about that information. I enjoyed all of this. This is the one story that I don't have really any issues with right now. Like, my issue before is it doesn't really put emphasis or elevate the tag team titles, but it's an interesting, compelling story. So that's all I can ask for on this goddamn show at this point.
Issues? I don't know if I have an issue. We are moving at a rather snail's pace, I would say, but I'm not sure if that qualifies as an issue. This is good all around from everybody. Bobby Lashley, I thought, was better on the mic here than the last time we heard him. He came across as quite annoyed with MJF, and Shelton sticking up for Lashley, I find interesting. I know that would not continue to be the case. I assume in 3 weeks after MJF proves himself in some way, Benjamin will take the side of MVP. And MVP. And then 3 weeks later, Lashley will came in, and then MJF will fuck it up somehow, because that's what he does. I'm curious.
Or I think that maybe they should do a matchup between Lashley and MJF for him to get into the Hurt Syndicate. I think Joel Pearl suggested that on In Louise earlier, and I kind of like that. As an idea for them to go at it. I don't think MJF should beat Lashley, but he should be able to prove himself to Lashley in a way. I don't know if you do Lashley beats him or they go to a time limit draw. I just don't think MJF beating Lashley is what they should do, but I think they should have some type of match involved into MJF joining the group.
As much as I'm here for MJF and Lashley, this feels so beneath them in terms of a match. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, you would think the stakes would be much higher for MJF versus Bobby Lashley. And instead, it isn't. I don't know. I'm not bothered by any of this. It's fine usage of all 4 guys, but I don't know. No, he doesn't.
I like the fact
face?
that Lashley is proving that he's watched the product before, because nothing that MJF has done since they've been in AEW should say that he shouldn't trust MJF. It's if he's been watching before he got to AEW that he should know that.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
We got Power Driver Finisher says it's an old school gang initiation. You getting jumped. I could see that. I loved MJF just standing with the group. Like, bro, you think you on the team?
It was cute.
Big Man Dog says Hurt Syndicate and D Riders are like the good and bad parts of Bloodline split into 2 separate factions.
That's very true. There's stakes going on. There's characters on the same team with different agendas. So not being at odds with one another. They just don't agree. And on the other side, this is fucking nonsense. Over convoluted, entirely too many people here. Fucking nonsense.
Davion said Bobby had that face you make when somebody you don't like trying to be your friend. Yeah. Because MJF doesn't know how to be a friend.
Lashley's face is fucking fantastic. That's such a great fucking photo. I can't get over it. He really does not fuck with that guy. Try not to murder somebody's face.
We got a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries once again. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Chuck Berry says, why is Lashley not being more forceful on MVP? Like, dude, you're the one that gave him the business card, not us fix this shit.
They have established that Lashley defers, I guess would be a good word, to MVP. Because this could obviously be a bigger issue down the line. You made a call without us, and now we've got to deal with this shit every single week. I could just rip your head off, to be honest with you. Which is why I don't mind Lashley taking the back seat. Visibly, you can just say, if Lashley wanted to, MJF and MVP will be removed from the planet.
It's Bobby Lashley. I think he can do that quite easily. Renee Paquette is backstage. Thank you so much once again, Chuck Berries. Renee Paquette is backstage with the former #1 contender for the AEW Women's World Championship, Megan Bayne, as well as Penelope Ford, asking how they were following Dynasty. Ford said that was a taste of defeat, but it changes nothing, as everything Bayne has been through isn't erased just because Storm survived. Ford said that Bayne will be at Collision and doesn't care who or how many. Bayne stepped up and said that she will make them all bow down. What do you think is the direction for Megan Bayne following the loss at Dynasty?
Collision, apparently. What the fuck? Enough of you trying to make this a thing. It's over. Just stop it. Or whatever. I assume squash matches, which I'm not mad at. I mean, she's visibly imposing, and she's gonna have to work her way back up to fucking Toni Storm. But I don't know. I thought it was too early to do this match, and now we've gotta fucking fix it. When the Owen? What? I don't hate that idea, but nah.
She enters the men's Owen. She beats Hangman and then faces Kyle Fletcher, beats him, and then faces Ospreay at Double or Nothing.
Only issue I have a problem with is her being Ospreay. She could beat Hangman, and who's the other one?
Fletcher.
Oh yeah. Come on now. They wear the same outfit. Yeah, she could beat Kyle Fletcher. Please and thank you. This thing looks ridiculous. I love how you have all this energy for Seth when he's dressed like a bird or whatever goofy shit he decided to dress as this week. See how Fletcher has these fucking Indian belly dancer sunglasses. This stinks. What the fuck is this?
Get into that. But up next, we had AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm, who makes her grand entrance to the commentary table. She crawls across the table like a cheetah, pulling keys out of her purse, telling Mr. Tasmaniac she moved his car but left her chewing tobacco in there. Taz broke, as this was a callback to Storm in the post Dynasty presser, saying that a car with the license plates FTW was double parked. But she is here for our next Owen Hart Cup women's quarterfinal matchup, where we're going to have Thunder Rosa going one-on-one with Kris Statlander. Storm says that if she teamed with Statlander, they'd be called Thunder Thighs. But if she teamed with Tony Schiavone, they'd just be called Tits. The entire commentary team has lost it, laughing at this point.
None of that made any sense.
Statlander showed off her strength early and followed with an arm drag, snap drop kick as well. We get Rosa cut off a corner attack and missed her drop kick in the corner, but Statlander also missed a slingshot elbow. Rosa connected on the second try on her drop kick and followed with a seated senton off the apron. Storm mentioned that she loves Texas. It's big, just like her big package that no one has kicked out of. Excalibur said that Megan Bane has unfinished business with Storm, and who said the business was finished in her eyes. He was like, I never want to go through that again. both Rosa and Statlander brawled ringside as things went to commercial break. Rosa was in the driver's seat when things returned, with Storm giving a PSA to the camera, telling the kids watching to please try this at home. Storm said that the last time she wrestled Statlander, she was dropped on her head and shrunk 3 inches. Then she saw Mr. Schiavone and she got right back. She got it right back.
What the fuck?
Rosa tried a Cardoza, but Statlander countered into a wicked-looking blue thunder bomb for a close near fall. Rosa spun out of the Wednesday Night Fever and hit a destroyer for a 2 count. Rosa hit a charging knee flush as she said that it's nothing personal before slapping Statlander in the face. Rosa charged, but Statlander cut her off with a wild lariat, and then she finished her off with Wednesday Night Fever for the 1-2-3 to move on in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Commentary did also mention during this matchup that Statlander has said that she's made it to the semifinals of the Owen Hart Cup before. This year is her year to make it to the finals, so we'll see. She's 1 win away from the finals at Double or Nothing. Post-match, you get Statlander helping Rosa to her feet as Toni Storm was giving Statlander a round of applause for her victory here as she moves on in the tournament. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was a very good matchup. Both women brought it in a hard-hitting match between the two, and I like Statlander picking up the victory here. It feels like she should be considered one of the favorites to win this entire thing. What did you think about this match? And, of course, Toni Storm on commentary.
That guy who had the women's wrestling is alive and well sign. I dislike him strongly. Something about his face and his disposition bothers me. I know you didn't watch him, but I watched him. And everything about him screams he's got a fucking woman locked up in his fucking basement. Fucking phony. It's like, yeah, she got my sign. Yeah, it's like, I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Sorry. As far as the match went, the match was good.
Where does these rants come from? I really want to know.
You guys don't be paying attention to the things that are going on in the show. Yeah, thank you, Big Man Dogs. That vibe. Fucking giving me a hug ass nigga. That vibe. You guys are watching Toni Storm and fucking Statlander, Thunder Rosa. You didn't even pay attention to the guy with the fucking sign in there, turning around, talking to the rest of the film. You didn't look at this fucking sign. Oh. See?
Yeah. We're watching the actual match. Yes.
Oh, that's nuts. Thunder Rosa made it part of the match. She made it part of the product. What was I going to say? I'll write the match.
You don't even know what you were gonna say.
He was probably like, yeah, Thunder Rosa, she's into me. She grabbed my sign and everything. Sorry, sir, if you're not a creep, but I've been good many that you are. That's why the match wins.
I love how you say after the fact. I'm sorry, sir. If you're not a creep, I apologize.
It's possible. It's possible. Good match. Statlander is fantastic. I don't know if I call it the best ones wrestling AEW. I caught a little bit of a Mercedes match on Dynasty. She's still really good, even though Julia was, let's say, struggling. Mercedes is probably the best.
It carried her to a solid match. I agree.
Yeah, and Statlander's number 2. Thunder Rosa, a solid hand. She seems to have, unfortunately, found her level in AEW, which is, collision match winner, dynasty match loser. Dynamite match loser. But hey, it is what it is. And Toni Storm is splendid. And right now, I would say she's the MVP of AEW. She's the biggest star in the women's division. She is hysterical every time she has a microphone in her hand. And she has really good matches. This is all we need. There is nothing else.
Did you watch her match with Bane? It was pretty much how we called it. We literally called the entire match. It was Bane destroys her, and she gets minor offense. Bane kicked out at 1 of the Storm Zero, then was completely destroying her again, and then picks her up for Fate's Descent, and she rolls her up into the big package for the 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. They've done it before with Punk and Wardlow. I think
but this was the better version.
I didn't see it, so I can't comment one way or the other. But yeah, it's solid enough if you need starting with a match, but protect big guy / woman.
We got a couple of comments here saying Power Jar Finisher says, I agree with Jimmy. He says that he's probably one of those who complained about Tony saying perverted shit and calling us neckbeards, and it's him who he's talking about. Yeah,
you know the type. Go on Twitter and just fucking Google AEW. And these phony fans. At least the fucking Feds creeps, they're out in the open with their creepiness. These psychopaths try to hide behind righteousness. Oh, I'm a good guy. Good guy. You're not. Your hands in your pants right now, you fucking creep. Watch the match.
We got Nikki Boy who says she needs to be on commentary every week. She would break the commentary team every single week.
Yeah, Pop Drive was pointing that out. These motherfuckers have no type of sturdiness about them. They just fall apart whenever she starts talking.
Because she deadpans.
Yes, she's working. She's working. Yes, she doesn't laugh because she's being dead serious. It's a character. He's like, I'm done. I shoot. Fucking shoot Jones. Shut up. Work.
Nigel is the only one who can handle himself with Tony Storm on commentary. Don Callis is backstage with Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher.
Why'd you pick this picture, sir? Why'd you pick this picture? Look at this shit. Yeah, listen to Don Callis with his fucking face.
Saying all roads are leading to a Don Callis family final, the Proto Sheeta final in the Owen Hart tournament. We got Callis said that Brody King got one over on Lance Archer, but shan't happen again against Konosuke Takeshita. His men are in their 20s. They're oiled up, hot, and the talk of the town. Given the rash of injuries that have taken place to the family, they're opening up initiations to join them. So send your resume and your bank account info, and he'll take you straight to the top. That is a wild statement. Send me your bank account info is one of the most wild statements Don Callis has said.
What the fuck? What kind of thing is he running here? Motherfucker's just a scammer. That's it.
He's working a Ponzi scheme, apparently.
What the fuck? Send me your bank account info. That's not how that works. What? Sure. 0, 0, 0. Callas was great. Callas was fantastic.
Yeah, he was really good here. Who do you think would make a good member and good new member to the Don Callis family?
Let me see. You got Fletcher and Takeshita. We probably need a heavy. We've done the Hobbs thing, so that's out. Where's Wardlow at?
Wouldn't mind if he's healthy. Keith Lee, if he's healthy.
I mean, when was the last time Keith Lee was healthy? No disrespect, sir. I love you.
2023.
Jesus, he's been out for a while. Oh, Big Bill. That's a good one.
Shout. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, Wardlow's been on one pick, and then Big Bill, and then Keith Lee, I guess.
We go to the Undisputed Kingdom, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roddy Strong. We got Kyle, who says that ever since joining them, he's been chasing titles, but it's kicked off with Cole winning the TNT championship. Roderick Strong said that it's time to win titles of their own now, Kyle. Cole said that he came back from back-to-back injuries and the toughest test of his life, but he stands here TNT champion. And they stand before you, the paragon of pro wrestling, and that is Undisputed. So I guess they are no longer the Undisputed Kingdom. They are now known as Paragon.
Oh my God, that's up there. That's not as bad as Fusion, whatever the fuck, but that's up there.
Pure Fusion Collective.
Nah, that's number one with a bullet. Pro Fusion
that might be
number one with a bullet.
That might be right behind Nightmare Collective for one of the worst thought of stable names in AEW history.
I'm putting it ahead of that. Paragon.
You put it ahead of Nightmare Collective?
At least Nightmare has the Nightmare thing in it, plus the spooky shit. So you got the Cody shit, and you got the spooky shit. Nightmare Collective. Paragon is just awful. It's pretentious. After they fucking won the match, they won the TNT. They won the European title, and now they're the Paragon. What are we doing? What is going on? What the fuck? Good Lord. I'm sorry. This is heinous.
Undisputed Kingdom. I mean, damage control wasn't that good, especially with the different spelling and shit. But
damage control is not good.
I don't mind.
Yeah, it's miles. It's miles above Paragon. It's never close. It's not even close. I don't know what I would change. Undisputed something. Undisputed bores. Let's go with that. Undisputed stealing a paycheck from the son of billionaires. Good Lord. So Saga, yeah, it's a little uppity, but you know that's fine enough.
Undisputed Saga? Nah, that sounds goofy.
It feels very uppity. It's very like in love with themselves. By the way, they didn't come across very likable here. I'm sorry. First of all, we're gonna hear from Adam Cole, and then immediately somebody else starts talking. What the fuck? This is my moment, you cocksucker. Why are you speaking? And why is Roddy impressed with this thing he already won? Yawn. Yawn for hopeless. Undisputed guys. Yeah, sold. Undisputed guys.
The Undisputed guys are here. Undisputed guys. Next up, we get TV time with Chris Jericho. Jericho is out and he is very somber, saying on Sunday he lost his match, his tooth, and the title, which despite being disappointing, he congratulates Bandito for pulling it off. After months of conflict with one of the greatest wrestlers of all time himself, Bandito saved his mask as he was with his family. Bandito has his family and Jericho has his. So he brings out Big Bill and Brian Keith of the Learning Tree. Jericho says that he'd hope all three of them would have titles here tonight, but they couldn't win the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Big Bill cuts off Jericho and says that he knows what Jericho is going to say. He's angry, and he has every right to be. So is he. Keith tried to stop Bill, who said Jericho needs to hear this, as they've spoken about this. Bill says that he has a lot of respect for Jericho. He's one of the greatest of all time and a decorated champion in history, which is why he decided to join the Learning Tree. However, Bill didn't sign up to be Jericho's punching bag when things go wrong. If he and Keith are out there for Jericho to teach them, then teach. But if it's to publicly embarrass them, let him know right now and he can leave. Bill knows Keith feels the same way, but Brian Keith didn't look like he felt the same way. Jericho gets in Keith's face and asks if that is true, and says that's not why he brought them out there. If they thought that, they have a lot more to learn than Jericho thought. He handpicked both to stand by Jericho because he saw potential, as they are future champions. But he was disappointed in them, that they weren't there for Jericho in his match. Some might say it's their fault he lost the Ring of Honor World Championship, but not Jericho. It's okay. He's not angry. He's just disappointed. Jericho begins to swing Floyd the bat and screaming out he's disappointed as he smashes the giant TV screen, dropping an F-bomb on live TV saying he's fucking disappointed in them. He says that he's disappointed in them, and until they change that, it's best that Jericho leaves. Jericho walks out of the ring. The fans begin to sing, hey, 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 goodbye. I'm sure this is due to Fozzy having their 25th anniversary tour happening over the next month. But I also am sure that Jericho's going to come back with another goddamn gimmick change, which would be like his 15th since he signed with AEW in 2019. This looked like it was going to be beneficial because I liked the part of Bill standing up to Jericho, but then Jericho just put the spotlight back on himself, so I don't care. Jimmy?
Yeah, I agreed. I thought we're heading towards like a breakup or at least a shift in how they deal with each other. Big Bill's like, I'm not putting up with this shit. I thought Jericho might back down, like, all right, we'll figure something out, I guess. Nope. He just ends up losing his mind, I guess, and leaving. Well, some positive came out of it. You said it's for the anniversary. I assume that it is. I don't care why it is. I just want you gone.
Yeah.
I was good when you were doing a New York minute. This was longer than a minute. Significantly longer than a minute. Entirely too fucking long. I yawn. I don't know what to do with them now with Jericho gone. I'm a little concerned, actually. By the way, I don't want to be a hypocrite about this. I love Big Bill. You know this. Delivery wasn't great here. I ain't going to hold you. He's not being funny. This is kind of rough. No disrespect.
It's kind of rough without the comedy bit of it.
Yeah. This is bad overall. But maybe we're getting a break. How long is this tour going to last?
Maybe it's a month or two.
Jesus.
Do you think that's long enough?
No. We need 6 months. 6 months. But his contract is up soon, right?
Yes, it expires this year.
What do you do if you're AEW? Well, I know what I would do.
I would not re-sign him.
No. And I gotta be honest, I wouldn't re-sign him for any amount of money. Even if you work for free. Just your presence on the show is not worth whatever the fuck you think it's worth. And to be fair, Triple H has shown what he thinks about old people. Edge, Lashley, no disrespect. And Jericho is significantly less good than they are. No disrespect. So, yeah. Try your luck over there, sir. Good luck to you.
See ya. We wish you the best. Wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I would do a whole fucking thing like he did with Cody left. Said mine would be nicer. Whole thing about Joe and his contributions to the promotion and yada yada yada. But you gotta go. Sorry.
See ya. We get footage of the return of the 5-tool player Anthony Bowens at Dynasty, with him answering the Maxcaster Open Challenge, and then it's announced that Anthony Bowens will be in action against Blake Christian this Saturday on Collision.
I knew you're wasting my fucking time with that nonsense you sent me on Dynasty was on. Anthony Bowens came back. He got a fantastic pop. He looks great. He looks ridiculous. What are you talking about? What the fuck is this nigga wearing? What the fuck is going on?
He looked like a superhero.
He looks ridiculous.
He looked like a superhero.
He does. What is that? Booster Gold ass nigga. Get out of here. Stink. No disrespect.
And then finally, we get the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, facing Samoa Joe and Hook of the Ops.
Joe and Yuta is this main event?
Joe and Yuta start with Joe no-selling a forearm and then causing Yuta to hightail it, realizing that he pissed Joe off. He tags in Claudio Castagnoli. Quick uppercuts and jabs traded by both until Joe hits the corner Intagiri and tags in Hook, who worked the midsection. Claudio didn't budge on a T-bone attempt and slammed Hook down. He tagged in Yuta, who leaped for a dive, only for Hook to calmly sidestep him and then look to Joe like, that's how you do it, right? And Joe's like, yeah. After 3 suplexes, Joe tags back in with a signature snapmare, chop to the back, boot to the chest, and then the leaping elbow. Hook back in as Yuta is sent to the apron as he pulls Hook's legs, and then Claudio follows up with a big double stomp on the apron as we go to the final commercial break. Hook tried to mount a comeback, but Yuta cut him off with an angle slam. Claudio toyed with Hook until he finally managed to come out of the corner and hits a big T-bone for a double down. Yuta cut off Joe before the tag, but turned into a Hook overhead throw. Hook wanted the tag, but Joe wasn't there, so Claudio flew in with the freight train uppercut, powerbomb, double top ropes clothesline combination by the Death Riders, only got a 2. Joe and Claudio started brawling on the floor. Joe hit a huge Uranagi. Inside, Hook applied the red rum, but John Moxley appeared and ran distraction. Yuta raked the eyes, and then Moxley grabbed the steel chair, only for Katsuyori Shibata to show up and apply a rear naked choke in the aisleway on the world champion. Joe had one on Claudio, and then Hook grabbed one on Yuta and got the submission victory for the Ops. Post-match, Marina Shafir clipped Joe from behind with a steel chair. Claudio comes in and grabs a chair, and he lays out Hook. Katsuyori Shibata tries to fight them off, but they fight him off as well. And then Claudio hits the neutralizer on Hook on top of a chair that was open, which was kind of brutal. Claudio, they bail after Joe and Shibata grab some chairs to make the save, and then Joe gets on the mic. He screams that the Death Riders are cowardly sons of bitches. He says that the Ops came to Baltimore to get into a fist fight, and the Death Riders are acting more like dick riders than to come fight them. Joe wants to make it simple. The Ops versus Death Riders, as they're coming for the Trios Championships. Joe and Shibata help Hook to his feet as the Ops stand tall to end the show. What did you think about this main event matchup and the post-match with the Claudio attack and Joe's promo?
Is that picture from after the Claudio spot?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Sorry, it threw me off. Are you fucking serious? Anyway, the match was good. It's not a main event. It's never close to a main event. In fact, it's baffling as a main event. I'm not entirely sure what the fuck we're doing. Tony Khan must have some info I don't have. He must, because I don't understand this love of the Death Riders. I don't understand their placement. as like these mega stars. We know the numbers.
He booked end the show with them. He had 3
You know
matches
what?
with the Death Riders on this show.
I was gonna say we know they're not draws, but perhaps the numbers he sees from HBO Max are different. That shows this giant spike for the Death Riders. Right. Yeah, maybe that's it. Imaginary numbers. I'm over it. And Joe's not good enough to save it. And this is not a knock on Joe. I don't think Joe was ever good enough to save it. 2002, Joe's not good enough to save it. It can't be saved. No disrespect. This is a terrible idea. And it ends with this big whatever for a fucking trios title match. That's what it is. That's what we're going for. What is going on? Somebody explain it to me like I'm 12. I don't understand. This is jarring. Can we be honest? If this was not Tony Khan, if this was anybody else booking, we would all be you all would be sitting here with your fucking conspiracy theories, how this booker secretly works for Triple H and is trying to destroy AEW from the inside. This would be your fucking theory. Like you did for Russo with WCW. He was sent there to destroy the company. You would all be sitting here yammering. But because of Tony Khan, we're all forced to have no explanation instead. I don't understand. I'm so very confused.
It's baffling. It's baffling. Very baffling. And that was AEW Dynamite. We've come to the end of our review here. Let us know. Final call for Super Chat donations. Appreciate Chuck Berries for showing his support today. But anyone else who wants to show their support, send a Super Chat donation. But also in the chat, let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give this week's show? For me and Jimmy, for the April 9th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle from me, thumbs down from Jimmy. Out of 10, what did you give this week's show, Jimmy?
6. Nothing great happened on the show. Even the things that I find mildly interesting, like MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, or Hangman and Nana, are fleeting when up against the jarringly bad booking that Tony Khan produces on a weekly basis. This roster is very talented. Not talented enough to overcome this.
Yeah. I only went slightly higher, 6.5. That's why it's thumbs in the middle from me. This is pretty much what we said about the post-Revolution show. This seems to be the off week. The post pay-per-view shows, like I remember last year, we were very high on their go home shows, but like their post pay-per-view shows, I don't remember being this bad as it's been this year. The post Revolution show was not good, and it was the worst show out of the build to Dynasty. And I probably feel like, considering what we might get on next week's show, what it looks like we're going to get with Athena and Mercedes, and then Takeshita and Ospreay, it feels like that's gonna be much better than this week's show. So
yeah, as long as both those matches go an hour, we'll be fine.
And then Tony Khan doesn't have to do anything. Yes, that sounds perfect.
Leave it alone.
Don't touch it at all. We got match of the night from Power Drive Finisher, Kris versus Thunder. He gives it a 5 out of 10. We got Dion Jenkins. He says the hashtag long gamer TK will not stray. We got King Potate, who says hard 5 out of 10 for me. This show just sucked. We got Power Drive Finisher. He says MVP Tony Storm, LVP commentary, honorable MVP TK.
Commentary is crazy.
He said honorable LVP. Okay, there we go. Who was your MVP for the show, Jimmy?
Ooh, no one involved in Death Riders thing. It's between Tony. You know what? I'm gonna go with Statlander. Statlander is fantastic to look at and to watch.
I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley. I thought Bobby Lashley was great.
Face. Shit.
Yes. I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley. He popped me the most on this show with his whole reaction to MJF, which is perfect. The LVP for the show. Who you got?
Oh, come on now. It was Tony Khan with relative ease. Always. Tony Khan with relative ease. Heinous. Horrible. Letting down
Tony Khan was LVP for Dynasty. He's LVP for this week's Dynamite, for sure. And then who was your match of the night?
This is usually the point where I point out matches don't matter as much as promos, but it's not really a promo worth dying for on the show. So we're going to go with Stat and Thunder Rosa.
Just to piss Jimmy off, I'm going to go with the $400,000 explosive 8-man tag team matchup. That was so much fun.
That's code word for no selling.
Explosive. Team Ospreay versus Team Ricochet. Jimmy, we've made it to the end of another edition of AEWramble. Thank you, as always, good brother, for joining me today. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
At Jimmy Macram. You may never see me again. We'll see how it goes.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. I will be live with you guys tomorrow. I believe probably 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be reviewing Dark Side of the Ring Season 6, Episode 2, Ludwig Borga. And we'll be doing on Sunday, Dark Side of the Ring Season 6, Episode 3, Big Van Vader. That's one that I suggest Jimmy should watch. The Big Van Vader episode. You will enjoy.
What's going on with our fucking our crew here? Big Man Dog's missing for a couple weeks. Frantic World's missing this week, obviously. We didn't have any positive comments about the show, so that's how I noticed he was missing. I don't see Roxy. Where's homegirl? Annika? What's this? Is AEW's costing us money now. AEW's causing us an issue. What are we doing here?
This is true. AEW, you got to get your shit together, man. People see. I made beats. He's got the right idea. He's like AEWramble greater than AEW Dynamite. If you don't like AEW Dynamite, just show up for the Ramble. Show up for the Ramble. Thank you. I make beats. Thank you. But yes, we'll see if anybody shows up. Next week's gonna be good. Spring Breakthrough, Athena versus Mercedes, and possibly Ospreay versus Takeshita. So I'm looking forward to next week. But this week is a down week for AEW. AEW might get my worst of the week on True Hill Heat on Saturday. Join us for that. 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. Me, myself, the True Draw Josh, and Top Guy JJ will be on the show this Saturday, so join us for that. But like I said, I'll be with you tomorrow for Dark Side of the Ring. For Jimmy, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 193. We did it for the Hangman. We are signing off until next time.